Good morning, children. Firstly, I would like to extend my warmest wishes to all of you. I hope you all are studying well at home. So, let us begin with the video on the topic manufacturing industries. We will cover the following topic in this video, like importance of manufacturing, industrial location, and the classification of industries.
So, let us begin with the meaning of manufacturing industries. What does it mean? So, firstly, we will get to know about manufacturing. Production of goods in large quantities after processing from raw materials to more valuable products is called manufacturing. It means when the production it is in a large quantity, in a large number, and it is processed through a raw material, and this raw material it is transformed into a finished good is known as manufacturing. And when these raw material, when an industry it is set up to transform all these raw materials into a finished good, that is known as manufacturing industries. These manufacturing industries are they fall in secondary activities. They are called as secondary sector. Why? Because they are dependent on the primary activities. Like agriculture, it is known as the primary activity, and these industries are based on the primary activities. That is why it is known as the secondary sector. Children, that these industries are the backbone of a country. They have the economic strength of a country and is measured by development of manufacturing industries. So this is the introduction which is there about the manufacturing industries. Children, that these industries have three kind of processing unit, and these processing unit like input, then processing and output. It means the first you have the production has to be it is in a form of input, then processing it becomes in a process form, and then it is used for the output. Then the product which come out, it is known as the output processing. So these are the three steps through which the manufacturing industries takes place. For example, if you can say that input we can say that you can take the example of cotton balls. Cotton ball is known as the raw material. It is as a raw material, and this raw material is known as the input. When we will input this thing, when we will put this raw material into the machine, then it started processing something, then it keeps on processing, then it started processing something, and then this process it makes up and then it started producing yarn, and after becoming yarn, then the thing after the yarn it started weaving. After weaving, it is in a finished good, and that is known as the output process. Children, the people, those who are doing the secondary activities, they are called as blue collar worker, and the one who are doing activities in the primary sector, they were known as red collar people. So let us move ahead and let us see what is the contribution of industry to national economy. But before telling you the contribution of industry to national economy, let us talk about the agricultural industry, that how these agriculture and industry they move hand in hand. Both are interdependent on each other. As industries, it gave a major boost to agriculture by producing fertilizers, by producing irrigation pumps, then insecticides, then machines, tools. These all are without this the farmer cannot progress in his agriculture. But and agriculture is also as agriculture is depend on industry, Similarly, industry also depend on agriculture, because the raw material which is used to transform the thing, it comes from the agriculture only. So it is one of the basic thing, and they move hand in hand. Importance of manufacturing industry. It is the indicator of a country's economic power. It provides a large number of employment opportunities. Manufacturing industries help in advancing the agriculture sector. It's help in eradicating poverty and unemployment. Public and joint sector venture was started to end employment and poverty. It also brings down regional disparity. It brings more people in the fold of economic development, such as tribal and backward area. Export manufactured product fetches foreign exchange. Most developed economies in the world are the most industrialized as well. Agriculture and manufacturing industries function hand to hand, which I've already explained you, and agro-based industries contribute to improve agriculture productivity. You know, children, that export of manufactured good brings foreign exchange as well, and it helps in transforming raw materials into a wide variety of finished goods of higher value. It helps in eradication of unemployment, poverty from the country. The contribution of industry in the GDP is also known as gross development production, is very low in India as compared to the South Asian economies. The total contribution of industry to the GDP, its share is only 27%. Among the 10% come from mining, quarrying, electricity and gas. You know, children, the National Manufacturing Competitiveness Council, which is also known as NMCC, has been set up by the government to take the appropriate policy measures to improve the productivity to manufacturing sector. Since the growth of the manufacturing sector has been 7% per annum in the last decade. Since 2003, the growth rate has been increased 9 to 10% per annum. According to the NMC, it is it is set up by government. It is set up by the government just to see the policy measures, just to see the measures, appropriate measures, that how these industries they are taking, how these industries are their production values, their machinery status, entire thing they have to look after. Industrial location, there are certain factors which are responsible for setting up an industry. They are influenced by certain availability, like the certain availability are of raw materials, labor, capital, power and market. So these as raw material, it is very essential for setting up an industry, and one of the most important thing, that is capital, which is also known as money. Without money the thing cannot be possible, the one cannot buy even anything. So power in a form of thermal power or hydropower. Then in the market, there should be nearby market also, so that they can able to whatever the finished good is there, they can able to easily transfer to the market as well. And then labor, the cheap labor should also be found nearby area. So after industrial activity starts, urbanization follows. It means when any industrial industry is set up, then there the urbanization it follows. Then there in that area the cities it provide finance bank, it provide markets and also provide services such as banks, financial advice, insurance, transport, labor, consultants, etc. to the industry. And then many industries, they tend to come together to make use of the advantage offered by the urban centers, which is known as agglomeration economies. So when the cities, they provide market and services such as banking, insurance, transport, labor, consultants and financial advisor, etc. to the industries, so that many industries, when they tend to come together to make of the advantages offered by the industries or by the urban centers, that is known as the agglomeration economies. So these industries, they usually have the three process. As I told you before, they usually have the three process, like input, then output. So how they are doing the input, like when they put in the input, they use raw material at that time, that is known as the component parts. You can say it is component parts or the raw material. Then the factors of production, it comes like factors of production like land, labor, then capital, entrepreneur, then infrastructures. These all are required after getting that raw material. Then they need transport. After that, the transport is facility. It means that they carry the raw material to the factory area. So the transport is required to carry from one place to the another. Then in the factory, these output means the product, it start manufacturing over there, and then again it required transport to the market. It means when that raw material turned into finished good, then again it required transport to reach those finished goods to the market area. And after that, when it reaches to the market area, then it tends to become money. So this is how money is in the frame of it requires for the output process also they require money, and for the input process they also require money. So in the next slide, it talks about the classification of industries on the basis of source of raw material used. So it is divided into two: agro-based industries and mineral-based industries. Agro-based industries, for example, cotton, woolen, jute, silk, textile, rubber and sugar, tea, coffee, edible oil. These are all come in agro-based industries. It means the industry which is based on agriculture is known as agro-based industries. Then next one is known as mineral-based. Mineral-based industries, for example, iron and steel, cement, aluminium, machine tools, petrochemicals, etc. It means the industries which are based on minerals are known as mineral-based industries. Now let us see the next criteria, and that is according to their main role. According to their main role, again it is of two kinds. Basic or key industries are those which supply their products as raw materials to manufacture other goods. Example, iron and steel, and copper smelting, aluminium smelting. These are all considered as basic. It means these are the base of the industry. And the other industry, these are the base industry. They give birth to another industries as well. And the second one is known as the consumer industries that produce goods for direct use by consumers, like sugar, toothpaste, paper, sewing machines, fans, etc. Now, the third one is known as on the basis of capital investment. Small scale industry, again it is divided into two: small scale industry and large scale industry. Small scale industries are such industry which requires the maximum investment up to rupees 1 crore. It employs a small number of laborers. And large scale industries, they were known as if investment is more than 1 crore on any industry, then it is known as large scale industry. And these industries, thousands of people, thousands of workers work in it. On the basis of ownership, this is the fourth criteria. It is again divided into four sectors, and that is known as public sector, private sector, joint sector and cooperative sector. Now let us see about the public sector. Public sectors are those industries which are owned and operated by government agencies like BHEL and SAIL. Then the second one is known as the private sector. These industries are owned and operated by individuals or a group of individuals like Tisco, Bajaj, Auto Limited, Dabur Industries, etc. Joint sectors. Joint sectors are those industries which are jointly run by state and individuals or a group of individuals, like for example Oil India Limited is jointly owned by public and private sector. Cooperative sector. Cooperative sector industries are those which are owned and operated by the producers or suppliers of raw materials, workers, or both, like Amul industry. It is known as the cooperative industries because it is directly linked by the village people. They used to give them the milk. It is a raw material which is supplied to the Amul company, and then it means it is a cooperative sector. It is cooperated by the village people. So it is operated by the producers or suppliers of raw materials, workers, or both. It means without them they cannot able to run the industry. Now the last one is known as the base, which is based on the bulk and weight of raw material and finished goods. They are heavy industries and light industries. Now, heavy industries such as iron and steel industries, automobile industries, these are considered as shipbuilding industries. They are considered as heavy industries. And light industries, which are that use for light raw material, that use light raw materials and produce light goods such as electrical good industries, utensil industries, then plastic goods industries. They all are light industries in short.
I hope you all have understood the topics which I have explained you in the video. Thank you, children. Stay fit, stay healthy.